Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mo Gawdat.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm so happy to be here with you today. That's an intimidating room. I hope by the end of my speech to you today, you will also be happy that I came. It's actually my target to make every one of you happy. So I'm not going to talk about Google X and amazing innovation and AI and all of that wonderful stuff that I know you're so hungry for. But I actually will talk to you about another engineering problem, the problem of happiness. So the reason we are here is because of those two wonderful young, I call them young children. These are my children, Ali and Aya. Ali was born when I was 24, I think 25. He was a tiny little Zen monk. So every day of his life, he was such a wonderful human being, always peaceful, always happy. He was so wise that by teenage, I started to stop going to my mentors and go to Ali as my mentor, as my coach. Ali taught me so much about life and about happiness. Aya, on the other hand, was the sunshine of our life. Aya was, those kinds of people that will just pull you, take your hand, and just make sure that you enjoy the day, be present, have fun. Between them, I was extremely successful. At a very, very young age. I was a director of a massive consumer goods company with all of the perks and benefits, and I was absolutely miserable. Between those two kids, I ended up learning so much about happiness that I ended up developing a model that is an engineer's view of happiness. Not the typical sit down, meditate, say Om. Actually, that stuff didn't work for me at all. I was more interested in how does this machine work? How does this a physical form of ours work? And why were we born happy and then grew out of happiness? I would go back to Ali and Aya, and they would explain it to me from the heart, from the instinctive side, if you want. Eventually, Ali, unfortunately, didn't. He basically caused me to change my life. So Ali lived his life with a tattoo on his back that said the gravity of the battle means nothing to those at peace. This tattoo was the very last thing I saw from Ali when he sat up on the operating table going into a very simple surgical operation back in 2014. And it was almost as a reminder for me because 4 hours later, 5 mistakes by the surgeon, we lost Ali. And as you can imagine, most parents would not be able to sustain such a tragedy. Ali was my son, but also my best friend. And he was my coach. He was my mentor. He was everything, if you want. So if I had closed my door and cried for the following 27 years, I don't think you would have blamed me. But that's not what happened. What happened 17 days after Ali left was this. I sat down and started to write. I wrote a book called Solve for Happy, which was basically an intention on my side to share Ali's model with the entire world. I was trying in a very unusual way. You know how they sometimes say a life for a life? In my personal view, I felt Ali's life was worth 10 million lives. But instead of taking lives, I wanted to give life. I wanted to make people happy. I believe that a life without happiness is not a life. And so in my businessman's mind, I was thinking if I could make 10 million people happy so that they remember Ali and they feel grateful for his contribution, then I've honored him. It doesn't bring him back, but it makes our world slightly better than the day he left.